Ready? Play.
Sam Weiger with the newspapers. Can you share your thoughts on the overall atmosphere and experience playing at this event? And are there any unique aspects that stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little bit different of a look with the red court. I don't know how many red courts played on, but yeah, really cool atmosphere here. A big crowd and kind of sellout crowd for a 250, so that was cool to see on a college campus and on a weeknight. But yeah, it's been a great experience here, both of my matches, and a cool place to play for sure. Is it?
I have a question. No, I have a question. So it's been a full year since your initial breakout run in Australia in 2023. How has the reception been in the States compared to like the beginning of last year before that run? And do you feel indifferent now being a solid member of the top 20?
Yeah, it's crazy. When I had my first big result, it was in Australia, so I felt like I was actually bigger in Australia before I got big in the U.S. But it's definitely different than a year ago walking around. I used to be able to slip through these crowds while they're chanting other people's names, but I feel like I've kind of entered that mix at tournaments, especially in the U.S. So it's been cool to feel the American support at tournaments, 250s all the way up to the U.S. Open. So, yeah.
I'm just writing a bio on you, so I was wondering, where does your confidence come from at such a young age?
I think I have a lot of confidence because I know I'm not a final product. I'm not really too worried about the results of the single tournament that I'm playing, but I have a lot of long-term goals and things I want to see myself do down the line in the future. So I think it's easy to continue to just work hard and not really worry whether a result is positive or negative.
I have a question. So it's been about 20 days since your last competitive match in Australia. Normally tennis players don't get that much time off. It's right next to the next tournament or event. What did you do during that time, and how did your body hold up tonight given the break?
Yeah, it was honestly a lot of training. As soon as I got back home, I probably took a day or two off. I was kind of fired up after the Australian Open. I wouldn't say that it was a bad result, but I definitely wanted to go further in the draw, and I always want to perform the best at Grand Slams. So I was excited to get back on the court, and honestly, I had a pretty hard training block the two and a half weeks that I was home, and I put a lot of good work in, and I was kind of glad to see some of the things that I've been working on come out in the match that I played tonight, and I thought I played really well.
What are some of those things you've been working on, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, definitely a lot of things with my serve, how to be more effective on my first serve and my second serve, and I think I served about 75% tonight with 93% win rate on my first serve and 90% on my second serve. So, I mean, those are numbers that are really, really high, and I know it's not going to be like that all the time, but that's kind of what I'm shooting for. I also thought that I played really well in the front court today, and I worked a lot on my volleys when I was home.
Take one or two more.
Coming from a top 20 player, what is it like being part of this new wave of men's tennis?
I thought you were going to say American men's tennis. Yeah, it's really cool. I feel like there's a lot of young players making a breakthrough, and you see new guys each week who are kind of coming through the draw or coming through qualifying. There's definitely a lot of Americans breaking through, but from other countries as well. And seeing Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz win Grand Slams, guys who are one's a year older than me, one's a year younger than me. It's cool to see and cool to be a part of.
Dallas, being known for its sports culture and having passionate fans supporting teams like the Cowboys, does that in any way add any extra motivation or excitement to your tournament experience?
Yeah, it's definitely exciting when you're in a city that loves sports, are sports fans, and love their teams. And I think the other cool part is that you see some professional athletes come out to the games and matches. I went to the Mavs game the other night on Saturday, and we've seen Dirk here a couple times this week. I think he was at my match, and I just caught up with Stephon Gilmore, who's on the Cowboys. So I think it's cool to be able to see other guys do their thing in their sports, and them to be able to see us do our thing as well.
Just one last one. You mentioned qualifying a little bit earlier. You and Michael Moe actually played qualities at the U.S. Open in 2021. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, of course.
You mentioned Americans kind of breaking through. For those that might not be as familiar with Michael Moe's game, how would you describe the kind of threats he presents on the court?
Yeah, I think the tough thing about playing Mo is that he's a guy who serves really well. He's got a big serve, he hits his spots well, and it's a high jumping serve. It doesn't just stay in the pocket. It gets up above your shoulders. So that's tough to deal with. And then he's a pretty quick guy, one of the fastest on tour. So it's tough to get the ball past him. Has a rock solid backhand. So yeah, he presents a lot of challenges out there on the court.
Good stuff.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.